Hello there, you beautiful people. My name is Willow, and welcome back to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever, where today we're going to be casting a 7v7 played on the Neuroxis map generator. So get ready to strap in for this action-packed game. We are joined today by my esteemed peer, and in this co-cast, my co-host, the man, the myth, the Duelist.
Wow, you gave me a way better introduction than I gave you on our co-cast.
You feeling guilty, huh? Anything you want to say to them before we get into introducing the players?
Yeah, Aeon is still a shit faction, and don't listen to Willow.
Oh, yeah. Well, bring that heresy over here, why don't you?
We're good now.
All right. Starting in the northwestern corner with the purple Cybran by the name of Lolo Pup, going first land. Then to the southeast, we have ourselves a green UEF going first land by the name of GS4. Up to the northeast, we have ourselves a blue Cybran going first land by the name of Lord Tomato. And over here we have a dark red maroon Aeon going first land by the name of Geneva Convention, because we're on my channel now. Over to the further east, we have yet again an Aeon, this time Cyan, going first land by the name of Ninja Wombat. Then not last, we have two more players left for Team 1. We have ourselves a Seraphim, who is a kind of brown yellowish color, going first land by the name of Sub Q. And last but not least, for Team 1, we have a white Aeon by the name of Carl Hoffman going first land. And then the Duelist is going to introduce our second group of players, starting from the east, heading to the west. We have
Ramirez, 1991. He is going Cybran, opening first land. To his east, in a lovely orange color, we have Coffee, 09. I'm not doing all those numbers. Going UEF, opening first land. In a beautiful lime green, we have Sculpin Face, also going UEF, opening first land. And the Supreme Faction, in the middle of the map, we have Drimokus going Cybran, going first land, opening second air as well. In a lovely dark blue color, we have Spock, 1701. He will tell you, live long and prosper, but he does not mean it. And he is going Cybran, opening first land and second air. To the northeast, we have Periosa going UEF, opening first land. And last, certainly though, not least, we have Icy Nightmare.
the Titan
going
King!
UEF. The what?
I call him the Titan King because he's the first player I've ever seen who used Mass Titans effectively.
Okay, yes, the Titan King. Going UEF, opening first land, second air, and what I believe would be the rear position air slot for team number 2.
You know I had to derail you in your introduction on the last one after you said that Cybran heresy.
I was just trying to make sure that you had enough time to spin around the commanders to do that really cool graphic you like to do.
Oh yeah, you're good. We have about 1,000 reclaim on this map, so it's not super reclaim heavy, but there are a lot of expansions and a lot of mass points in between the players, so there's going to be a lot of fighting very early on. And of course, we already have our obligatory spam early game stuff going on, and I need to change the game volume because things are wonky all of a sudden. FX volume go up from 69 to 85. Are flares just that quiet? Either way, 2 flares killing off a mass extractor. Seemed very weird in my audio for some reason. T2
Oh, you
now...
changed it from 69. That's a problem.
Yeah, I always keep it at 69, so if I ever open settings, people notice it, but it needed to change, I guess. Ramirez with the first upgrade of the game going T2, and GS4 being very, very misclicky, starting Raz and then canceling it for gun. Oh, actually, Carl Hoffman went Sensors first, as the first upgrade in the game, so I lie. Where is that T1 bomber? There's a T1 bomber out from GS4, speaking of the devil, and it's managed to pick up 2 kills, not quite at that first rank of veterans yet, but is going to be going for more engineers of Ramirez, and going to pick up 3 with that pass and get its first rank of veterancy. I think that it's going to get shot down by this mobile anti-air, this Sky Slammer coming out of the factory of Ramirez as of the moment. And that, yeah, maybe it goes down, not sure. There's another Sky Slammer, so yeah, that's dead. On the eastern side, we still have some fighting breaking out between comms and units, but no comm-on-comm action as of this given moment.
So I actually really like what SubQ has done on the far eastern side. There's been an air scout from Ninja or Carl Hoffman that has been scouting. SubQ picked up on where Periosa moved his commander. He moved his commander more towards the central pond. And then SubQ moved down the far eastern side and picked up 4 or 5 of Periosa's mass extractors with his commander, which I think was a really good heads-up play.
Yeah, and but you also have the risk with that of getting cut off, but he's done really well to get that forward factory up, so he has some units to help him out at any given time, and I'm sure Carl is going to start moving forward any moment now. On the eastern side, T2 is finished up for Ramirez, and he's starting to shoot. He's built a Cerberus that's shooting the comm of GS4, getting Nano. Now has Nano and gun, so it's going to be pretty like last cast with the Duelist. It's going to be a pretty tanky and beefy comm, I believe. This time though, the T2 PD might be able to dissuade him from getting too much ground. Lollipop coming up behind as support for GS4. And Ramirez continues to build T1 PD and try and deal with the comm of GS4 that it's going to kill Cerberus, but he's getting really low on health. He's down to, let's see. In fact, we can just check it. 4,000 HP and falling. Needs to fall back, I believe.
GS4 is in bigger trouble than I think he realizes here, because there's
Sculpin
a couple
phase
commanders and PD. Yeah.
GS4 down to 900 HP, 800, back up to 900. He's about to cross 1,000 again. He's at over 1,000 HP. So he's still going to be okay for the moment, but needs to be careful. We also have Coffee, who has finished up T2 on his comm, building a radar. Could also start building T2 PD. We could have a double PD creep on this western side. On the eastern side, it seems as though SubQ and Periosa have just come to a mutual peace agreement not to fight each other, because they still have yet to shoot at each other, and they're just kind of right next to each other. Very tenuous peace, but a peace nonetheless. Some hover spam in the middle, out from Geneva Convention, moving towards the bases of both Spock and, how do you say that? Drimocus. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah. You just say it confidently and nobody will question you.
Oh, yeah, but confidence requires, well, confidence. That's the issue with that one. Ah, checkmate.
There are a couple gun upgrades coming in for Geneva Convention as well as Ninja Wombat on the southern side.
Drimicus also getting speed and range, so.
That is true.
We might
looking at... Go ahead, sorry.
We might see yet another chrono dampener. I know Geneva Convention has been pretty hype on it after I abused it. I think I abused it either against him or just in general a lot, and he picked up, and he's also been doing it. On the western side, though, Ramirez in a bit of a... I don't think he's going to die, but he's really low on HP as a bunch of Mantis came in on a Shift G order out from Lord Tomato and dealt a ton of damage to the comm there, along with the comm of GS4 firing into it. We have spam coming out
gunships
from Sculpin Vase, and gunships now coming in with these renegades. Ramirez is under real threat of dying right now. Plasma cannons, nope, those are not what you want to be building. You want to be building tracers and railguns, but I don't think Ramirez lives here. Yeah, Ramirez is going to be our first ejection here at the 9.5 minute mark. He's going to be going down.
Well, unless they just stop attacking him.
Or not, I guess.
Okay. Never mind, they still... They went back.
They tried to be really greedy to get Sculpin Face down there. They were trying to get him down to below 2k and then kill off Ramirez to get a double kill. But that kind of greed, I don't know if it's worth it, because if you don't kill either of them, that feels real bad.
Yeah, next
Sculpin
level
Face
play,
going to
you
be...
almost outplayed yourself.
Yeah. Sculpin Face going to be falling back to lick his wounds at 2,000 HP, and Coffee going to continue to firebase up here, but GS4 still has that dangerous gun nanocom, and he's regened enough health to where he can just walk up and kind of kill the T2 PD. So I don't know if Coffee can hold that position, to be honest. On the eastern side, T2 has started up for Periosa, Sub-Q, and Carl Hoffman. Still not quite going at it. They have T2 on the comm of Carl Hoffman and are starting to firebase a little bit, but Periosa and Sub-Q and Carl Hoffman kind of happy to not really deal too heavy blows to each other, whereas on the western side we have gunships and everybody's almost dying every 2 seconds. It's very much so a duality, if you will. Oh man. I haven't.
Coffee is working with no radar over on his side of the map.
He keeps on trying to build a radar, but he's building it on the front and it keeps getting killed.
Yeah, he keeps losing. So he keeps losing that radar, and as a result, all of the T2 PD that he's building on that side keeps getting taken out by the gun comm because they can't see any of the commander or the units outside of vision range.
Very, very unfortunate for Coffee. Looks like he's going to be completely forced back off of this western flank, probably back towards his production. He's under a bit of threat now.
I think he's dead if they play it correctly.
If they play it correctly, I do think he will die. Coffee falling down not too far in health. He still, of course, has T2. His comm's a bit tankier than normal. We also have some spam out from Sculpin Face to try and help out this, but I think GS4 might be a little bit shy to be going for this. He's also almost getting shot by his teammate. I don't even know if you can do that with the comms. I don't know if your teammate comm can shoot you, but you know, I know certain
I don't think so.
But GS4 and Lord Tomato still over here with decent numbers of units. Coffee falling down in health quite a little bit, down to 7,000 HP, but he has reinforcements constantly showing up. He just needs to start walking away. He can't build anything. You try and build something, the units will kill it, if not the comms. There's a Corsair out from Lollipop, who also did the snipe earlier. Didn't really give him any credit for that, but he did get the Renegade snipe off. Trying to also snipe off Coffee with a couple of Corsairs, but I don't think it's going to be too successful. And I think Coffee may just walk away from this one, but GS4 with the gun comm still pouring damage into the comm of Coffee, but decides to run away. I don't understand that call. I don't see what you could possibly see that would cause him to need to run away. He's at much higher HP and has a ton of regen. I think he should have just pressed that. That was a kill for GS4 if he just pressed it.
Sub-Q is getting a pretty good run by on the eastern side.
Thanks for pointing that out. We do have a huge run by now coming by from Sub-Q into the base of... I don't even remember the name. I'm such a pro caster. Periosa! Periosa. His power...
Periosa is a Sediosa.
We have a power grid, if you want to call it that. That's definitely going to be going down to this. Sub-Q also threatening the base of Icy Nightmare, who's already managed to get to T3 air, which I don't know why I'm saying already. Like, we're 12 minutes in, not surprising to see T3 air. But Broadsword Gunship's really good at dealing with T1 spam. In case you didn't know. I know you're a fan of the science and the numbers behind everything. Broadsword Gunship wins against T1 spam. Most of the time.
Dude, next science video idea right there.
Does this work with a gunship over the broadsword over a bunch of T1 units?
So I did want to talk about what Lollipop is doing right now. First, he has a strat up that's moving south.
Let's go ahead and get some
secondly,
cinematic camera on that.
You see he's got walls up there. You can see it in the north over on Willow's screen.
Yep.
Trying to avoid that kind of same run by that they were dealing with, or that Icy Nightmare was having to deal with the broadsword.
First
Walls
bomb
are a good way to deal
drops
with that.
and kills off. I don't think those were mass extractors, were they? No, they weren't.
Dropped 2 mass extractors. They were Coffees.
Oh, okay. Never mind. They were mass extractors. I didn't know that turned off the green overlay.
Get picked up by the Gemini, though.
Yeah, the Gemini gonna take that down. The Gemini coming out from Drimacus. I can't even remember what we decided on, but you know.
What would be best is if each of us figure out a different way to pronounce it every time we say it.
I'm just yeah. Okay, let's do it. So yeah, Drimmy boy over here with the ASF. He's also building whalers. Seems to be a priority on T3 gunships of both the Cybern and UEF kind. I know that personally that Icy Nightmare does really like the gunship line out from the UEF. He likes the Stingers and the Broadswords. He also talks about putting Sparkies on Stingers, which we may see. The Sparkies having Radar Jammer. It's apparently really effective. Whalers and Broadswords being used to clean up T1 spam that's coming in. The T1 spam phase of the game feeling pretty over as these T3 gunships out from Team 2 shutting it down and Team 2 not really having a whole ton of their own. I think we're probably about to see everybody start teching up to higher economies and higher tech units very soon. There's a few ASF out in the middle from Lollipop, but Lollipop is outnumbered in the air. His ally, Lord Tomato, not quite focusing on air the same way that one of Icy Nightmare's allies have. So it's 2-on-1 in the air. Going to be pretty difficult for Lollipop to get a significant advantage without really great air micro. On the eastern side, there is a bit of fire basing going on with Carl Hoffman and Sub Q. They're trying to creep their fire bases towards the base of Periosa. And looks like we're going to... Oh, there was a Miasma queued up, but doesn't look like he's going to go for the T2 artillery strat just yet, if at all.
Yeah, I feel Lollipop's pain here, being 2v1 in air.
Oh, yeah, I know. I casted a game of you on a Adaptive Millennium, was it?
Yeah, dude. Every time I play that map, I don't know what it is, but I get in the air slot. I don't ask to be put there, but they put me there, and then they're like, oh, by the way, we're just going to plan that the two guys on the other team are going to go... The two highest rated players normally on the other team are both going to go T3 air, in addition to the air player.
So that happened...
And then it's just going to be like, screw Duelist.
That happened to me playing Adaptive Millennium the other day, but I won because I just kept building my air grid, and all of the other people building air on their team had like 1, maybe 2 factories, while I had 8 by myself. They just stopped building air factories and they lost air. In the
it's
central...
supposed to make me feel better. I'm confused here. Like,
no,
oh yeah, that happened to me, but I completely rocked it. You're an idiot.
Yeah, just build more, just have more air. But speaking of air, we have Broadswords here in the middle out from Icy Nightmare, and the ASF for Lollipop not able to defend. Lord Tomato's just gonna die to these 3 Broadswords. Gonna take one with him, but I mean, when your comm dies and it only kills one of the 3 units that killed it, feels pretty bad.
Oh, it feels bad, man.
That's going to mean that Lord Tomato's gonna die. It's not a full share game, so all of this area free for the taking for Team 1. Team 2 in a huge spot of advantage now. They may have lost a player a little bit earlier, but they did not lose a player who was holding on to about damn near 20 mexes. They lost a player who's sitting on much less economy, so that's really going to dent the economy and the production and just the overall presence of Team 1. And, yeah, so whenever a player dies on your team, how do you like to recover from it? Because I know you're, unlike me, the games you host, you don't do full share, and I do full share on all my games. So, how do you approach it when a teammate dies near you or even far away from you?
Well, so it's funny that you mentioned that because I played a game earlier today, and a teammate of mine died next to me. It was actually Maximus. I was reclaiming his base, and I overflowed a lot of mass, and I realized I don't have a great way to handle that situation right now. So that's actually something I'm planning on doing a lot of testing on, and I've been like joking about like doing science videos like in this cast, but that is something I'm genuinely planning on doing like a video on is how you would actually like go about recovering and reclaiming things like that.
Yeah.
So I don't have a great answer for you right off the bat. Sorry.
Also, I do want to say, I know I don't make science videos, but I am very happy that my Shift G guide helped you.
Oh, dude, that was like a game changer for me.
It changed
Not
the game
even
for me
kidding.
too. Like, it changed the game for me like a few years ago. And it's so useful if you, especially with air units, it's probably the most useful there. But also with ground units, if you have the APM to spare, if you like go into an enemy base and you Shift G like their power or mexes with it, you just look away and let the units do their job. The broadswords out from Icy Nightmare, as we were sidetracked a little bit. Over here in the base of Geneva Covention, over here, killing off mass extractors, power generators, maybe even going for an HQ if they aren't stopped, but ASF coming in to stop it. Gonna do minor economic damage over onto Geneva Convention and set him back a couple of minutes in economic terms, but that can be a lot if it continues on a path as it has. I don't know what that means. I just word saladed right there. I just threw words in the general order that made sense, and it made no sense.
Well, this is just really good. So this is good play from Icy Nightmare because he understands that like he took out that one player and that both Geneva Convention as well as Lolpup are going to be trying to expand and reclaim that base as quickly as possible, right? So getting in there with some gunships and doing some damage to Geneva Convention's core economy is going to slow down that reclaiming process.
And another note on that, he won the air fight during that, and he also knows that his teammate Drim has decided to go air as well and is at T3 air, so if they fall behind an air, they have two players to fix it. It's not just him. So using his air aggressively, I like the move as well from that standpoint.
Yeah. That is definitely good. And if you look at his air grid right now, he hasn't focused a whole lot on expanding out in factories. I think right now he's mostly focused on getting his commander up to T3 as well as expanding out his economy. You see him ringing a lot of nexus, so I think he's playing a little bit more for the long game here rather than like cranking as many units into the field as he can, because he does have that safety net of the second air player.
Yeah. Over on the eastern side, I saw it in chat a little bit. Periosa saying, I'm dying to Artie on the right. That Artie he is speaking of is the glorious Miasma T2 artillery from the Aeon, and it's been built up by Karl Hoffman, and he's just lobbing some shells over towards the general main base of Periosa and causing some trouble. Periosa decided to build a stealth field generator, which helps for his units, but the structures, once they're spotted, these miasma artillery, gonna go to town, and we can see the destruction start to take hold as engineers, mexes, shield generators that were queued up, everything just starting to go down in this base, and it's really good play and really good use of static defense out from Karl Hoffman. A really heads-up play, realizing he was within artillery range and that he could threaten the economy of the person trying to fight him in the firebase war.
The miasma is like 2 times as strong as every other T2 static artillery.
Yeah.
It takes
with
3 shots to take out a T2 shield or something like that. It's insane.
It's with that damage shield. It's the reason the Emissary for the longest time was the only T3 artillery worth building. Well, that and the Emissary always had the range advantage. Now it doesn't. But, like, if you were to go look at the maps that I call cancer, like Dual Gap and such, every game people were like, we need an Aeon to build Emissaries. Forever ago.
Yeah. I mean, they're still good. Like, they still have a higher accuracy rating and a higher damage per second than any of the other T3 artillery, but...
Yeah, have you noticed this in normal games? T3 artillery, unless it's on, like, I think Navy maps are the only ones where you see it. T3 artillery is kind of ignored, and you just go straight to game enders instead of building a T3 artillery nowadays. Like, I haven't seen very many T3 artillery built, but I have seen many Scathis built in replays.
I think it depends on the faction. So, like, if you're UEF, I think a lot of times it's better to build a Duke than going for a Mavor.
Yeah.
But because, like you said earlier, the Scathos is like the cheaper of the experimental or the game ender artillery, it's probably more efficient to go for that than the
Disruptor.
disruptor. That's right. I'm
The
blanking
fact
on the
that
name.
I knew it before you did, and I'm the
Yeah.
Aeon player.
I know.
You're not even a true Cybern fan. You don't know every
I
unit's
know.
name.
I will accept my shame.
I don't
and
know every Aeon unit's name, so don't be shamed.
I will crawl under my desk now.
All right. Well, I want pictures of you under that desk. I need proof. No, I'm kidding.
Dude, did you know you're a League of Legends player, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're supposed to hate each other. I was a Dota player way back when.
Whatever. I don't hate Dota players. Dota players do hate me, though, because they're like, League of Legends takes no skill, but I disagree. I think every game, to a degree, has skill expression. Like, I don't care if you're playing Balloons Tower Defense. You can have skill expression in that shit.
Can you?
I-
Balloons Tower Defense?
I think you can. I'm sure there's people who are better at that game than other people. Like, better at lasting longer or something.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the game. Sorry.
That's such a tangent. All right. Periosa really struggling with this artillery barrage, and other than that, all I'm really seeing is people kind of just ecoing up and trying to get to the later stages of the game. We have a lot of T2 spam and now some T3 land spam on the western side coming out from GS4, who's played a pretty decent game so far between the early aggression with the comm and now getting up to Tech 3 and getting Tech 3 production on a meaningful scale well before Coffee could. He's going to be threatening this western side quite heavily pretty soon if nothing's done to stop him. Speaking of which, I think he's starting to head out right now to fight Coffee's firebase. Geneva Convention asking for mass. I'm wondering why. Is he working on anything big, or is he just trying to get his eco back up and running? Not sure. Lollipop in the back building a bunch of hives and has gotten an SMD up now. Icy Nightmares starting to move out with a bunch of broadswords to the western side. Looks like he's going to go try and help with the defense of Coffee, and to about the same extent, Sculp and Face, who are faced up against kind of immeasurable odds compared to what they have. They have a few T2 units rolling around, but now they have Mass Titan and a few Percivals kicking around their front door, and that's not really a good sign for Team 2. They're in kind of a rough spot over on this western side. Seems to be the only part of the map with major movement.
Icy Nightmare is struggling to commit with the gunships because there are Cougars in the mix there for GS4.
I'm less worried about the Cougars in Icy Nightmare's position and more worried about the Skyboxers. Because there's more Skyboxers. If it was just that one Cougar, he could focus it down. The ASF out from Lollipop catching Icy sleeping. And a bunch of broadswords are going to go down for it. Less broadswords than I would think for that many ASF, but all of the broadswords really low on health. One of them down to 28 HP, and they don't have veterancy, so none of those are going to be healing up anytime soon without help. I guess you could build a air staging facility and heal them.
He got hit pretty bad there. He was posturing with his ASF to try and fight, but Lollipop was keeping his ASF over his SAM sites, and he didn't want to take the fight over static AA, and then he caught him sleeping.
Also,
Lollipop caught Icy sleeping.
Out from Lollipop, I think the SAM site investment he's done, I think it paid off this game, but I generally don't do it in my games because I feel like I'd rather invest all of the mass thrown into those SAM sites into getting more air production to catch up on air. I don't know if you feel the same.
I think that there's a certain point that you get to where air is lost, and you need to build SAMs. I don't think it's a bad thing for him to build SAMs where he is right now, because he's up against 2 air players, and he's the only one with T3 air, so it might be a preemptive thing.
He's now up against 3, because T3 air has been achieved by Spock.
Ha! Live long and prosper, my friend.
Periosa, I have to give it to him. He's only a 600 rated player, but And he is doing the low-rated player thing that I make fun of in Steps to a Ladder and Subpar Commander. He's firebasing, but admittedly, he's firebasing at the right time and the right place. So, giving him credit, he's held out really long against Sub-Q and Karl Hoffman. I think that might be coming to an end now with the large forces gathering from both Ninja Wombat, who we haven't really talked about much this game, Geneva Convention, and then the extraneous forces from Sub-Q and Karl Hoffman might even help out. Looks like a big push coming on this eastern side. On the western side, it seems the T3 force of GS4 was dissuaded from pushing forward anymore. So this eastern side's kind of what we have to look at. And we have a
if you're looking for more subcom or subpar commander material, Spock is using his T3 HQ to pump out interceptors right now. Like a lot of interceptors. Like,
I mean, at least he's trying. he's trying to be helpful. Broadswords come in, Lollipop coming in with his own ASF to try and ward the broadswords away, but gets caught up in an air engagement. And Icy with a great air turn, as the Duelist mentions, gonna take down all of Lollipop's ASF. And with that, that leaves the ground fight firmly in the hands of Team 1, but the air fight firmly in the hands of Team 2. The broadsword's now going to be able to come in and rain chaos down upon these T2 and Team 1 units, but is Periosa a lost cause? He has a ton of units firing at him. He's not really microing to avoid the artillery damage, and Fervor's put out a lot of damage if they were to focus on the comm. It looks like the gunships and the bricks out from I'm blanking on the name again, Spock. Star Trek boy. We have our
Star Trek boy.
Yeah, Star Trek boy. It looks like those bricks are going to save Periosa, but Periosa down quite a bit on health, down to 6,000 and falling. More artillery fire coming in. If he doesn't move and dies to artillery... Wait, there's miasmas.
Yeah?
Oh, miasmas are going to kill him. Miasmas and the whatever, Seraphim T2RD. I bet you it's targeted on the comm right now.
Zuthams.
He's down to 2,000 HP. It's like a couple T2 artillery shots if they directly land, I think. Oh, no, and just one! Periosa going down to a shot from Sub-Q's T2 static artillery piece. And that's going to be the third ejection from the game, leaving it in a 5v6, I believe. Team 2 with 5 players, Team 1 with 6, not Team 6. I don't know. I can't speak. Words. Help, Duelist.
So in this game so far, Team 8 has 1 million units that are coming out from the western side of the map. You can't see them right now, but they're going to be battling with Team 24's units that are coming from the southeast.
Is this the Hunger Games?
Yes.
Which district are you from?
That is it. I am districts.
We also have a nuke launched, not to distract from the supreme content, and it's not going to be stopped because if Geneva Convention's walking away, you know that it's doomed. So Geneva Convention going to be in a rough spot as the nuke falls, kills off his... Does that kill off the T3 HQ? I don't know. It's a very pretty explosion, nevertheless. We'll find out. You're just like not even going to look for an anti-nuke. If he's walking away, he's doomed. Oh, I trust these players to walk away. If they don't have an anti-nuke, I'm trusting it. His HQ is gone, and his hopes and dreams of not being kicked in the balls every time he gets an advantage are also gone. Man, Geneva Convention really has been, like, a punching bag recently, hasn't he? Like, Icy Nightmare kills off Lord Tomato, then destroys half of his eco with gunships, and then he finally gets, like, a strong position over here on the eastern side, then he gets nuked. Very unfortunate for him. It is. We have bricks out from Drimodome, and he is... I'm not taking these names seriously whatsoever anymore. But Dromedome over here with bricks in the central area, killing off various things. We have a run-by of Titans out from Coffee, but GS4's comm will put a swift end to their hootenannying or whatever. Just trying to look for unique words.
That is something that I think that Drymocuse has done pretty well here, is picked up on the fact that nobody's really paid attention to the central pond.
Geneva was going for Navy.
Yeah, well, I see that, but unfortunately, he's running into a couple of Geneva's units on the other side, so maybe a little bit of lacking in execution, but I give it an A for effort.
A nuke has been launched out from the base of Lollipop, and it's going towards Icy Nightmare, who... I don't think he has a anti-nuke. No, he doesn't. Icy Nightmare
But
also... He's walking away! He's walking away! I told you! I trust these players. So we have double nukening going on. This time, I think this nuke is way more impactful than the nuke out from Dimmadome. His name is slowly going farther away while you're trying to keep it, like, accurate. But, you know, whatever.
I'm not trying to keep it accurate at all.
Drimacus, his nuke hurt Geneva Convention, but this nuke completely cripples Icy Nightmare. He's not going to be able to produce air anymore, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nukucus did a pretty good nuke on Geneva Convention, but this one is much more of a hamstringing operation there.
Yeah. On the west side, though, GS4 starting to suffer defeats, as a fat boy is kind of just rolling up and saying, "What do you have?" And GS4 is saying, "Teammates, please."
Well, there's also out here from Monkey Cuss coming out of the pond.
Ooh, yes, we do have a Monkey Lord over here coming out of the central pond. Gonna be able to fight with the T3 army. If it survives long enough, it may be able to kill off the forward production facilities of Geneva Convention, which is kind of, I mean, they're not really doing much right now, but they could be a problem in the future, I guess. Gonna have to go back to the water as the whalers show up along with the Corsairs, but it's gonna die, leaving a ton of reclaim for Geneva Convention, who honestly could use it. So that's gonna put the tide of this game in a bit of a different direction. The direction of the game, I don't know. Words are hard. We did. Oh, jeez. Yeah. I don't know how I alt tapped, but I did.
Noob caster.
I never claimed to be good at this. I'm definitely not a professional because we're not at 1,000 subs yet. In case
That's
you didn't
true.
know.
We don't make any money.
Everybody go subscribe. Well, I mean,
Google makes money off of all of our stuff, though.
I have a Patreon if that counts.
Oh, I don't.
Wait, did the Fat Boy just die to Corsairs?
Yep.
I didn't think that was enough Corsairs, but I was like absent-mindedly watching, and it died so hard that the wreck doesn't even exist. Man, I didn't know Corsairs were so good at killing off Fat Boys. Like, I thought it took a lot of them.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Ooh, yeah.
Already see your camera's already on it.
Broadsword snipe onto GS4 or Lollipop. Lollipop would be the more significant. Oh no, don't go for the economic damage, go for the snipe. You're here for the snipe, go for the snipe. Snipe them.
Don't listen to him. Go for the economic damage.
The snipe kills off all of this.
Yeah, but they're under shields. It gives them more opportunities to build more Myrmidons. You're not going to kill it. You're not going to be able to kill commanders. There's too many Myrmidons right now. But you can take out the entire air grid. Which is essentially what he did. I would have liked to have seen him take out the T2H or the T3 HQ though, but
yeah.
I mean, beggars can't be choosers. That's a good amount of damage.
His air grid may potentially get bigger than Lollipop's right now, but they're actually on identical air grids right now. They both have 4 air factories.
Are you looking at Icy Nightmare?
No, I'm looking at Drimacus.
You're looking at
Drimacus,
ASF Factory, cuz?
I was looking at the air grid, the
Right, Redicus.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Fucking what?
I'm
We
saying
have
it, I'm saying it. I'm
whalers.
trying to
We
say
have a
his name too
counter
many ways.
gunship snipe coming out. Whalers onto Icy Nightmare. His health is falling relatively quickly. He's gonna try and build a T2 shield. In time, it's not a parashield. It's a, what is it called? P something. Pulse. I knew it was a P name. He doesn't die to the whalers as his allies come in to save him, but not enough to kill off Icy as of the moment. But
Yep.
as we take a step back and we look at the economies, Lollipop on the strongest economy by far of 300, over 300 mass a second. Icy Nightmare still on a pretty strong economy, and Reclaim is actually just screwing with all of this. So Reclaim and Power Stalls, I would assume. Most players in the game over 200 mass a second. We still have a few that are between 100 and 200. Spock at the bottom of the pack, which is surprising. He hasn't really taken any economic damage, but I guess he's given up a lot of his expansion mexes to his allies. And this firebase over on the east, still the artillery just kind of firing away, getting some value. Titans on the west side, starting to raid against Coffee's forward mexes. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I think Team 2 needs a lot more land forces. We were talking about how good it is that they have 3 air players right now, but now they have like no land at all.
It's kind of just, it's just Drim. Drim on the air, on the land. He's the only one with a significant number of units, and his units are bricks, and bricks are great if your enemy gets in range, but they're slow. They're like Percival's. They're really slow, so he's not fast to respond to any of these flanks. On the western side, I guess we do have both Sculpin Face and Coffee with T3 and T2 and T1 units of some variety, but they've also just kind of fire-based, so they're not really worried about the western side. I think Team 1's kind of fire-basing a little, or Team 2 is fire-basing a little bit too hard right now. A Fat Boy on the way for Icy Nightmare, almost completed. A Megalith completing momentarily. Just needs to finish the paint job on it for Crabbot Icus.
Nice, love it.
Crabboticus. And
there's also a Soul Ripper. I don't know if you called that out earlier for
it just
Live
finished
Long
up.
and Prosper.
Yeah, Spock managing to finish up a Soul Ripper. And T1 Bomber's out from Icy Nightmare, trying to reclaim his air presence by building whatever the hell he can, but not going to be quite as significant as Strat Bombers would be, or even his T3 gunships that you had earlier. Do we
so
have
you were asking
another
me-
nuke loaded?
You were asking earlier, like, when... Well, we'll look at this nuke real quick, sorry.
I don't know where it's going, so I'm just going to
Oh,
have
shit.
to... What?
Nothing.
Okay. I think this is either going for the fire base or one of the bases of Carl Hoffman or Sub-Q. Looks like it's very possibly just the fire base.
Oh, I thought I was ahead of you. Never mind. We're good. The nuke is launching. It's launched.
And the fire base goes down. No comms in the area to die. But that does open up this eastern side for an attack and kills off a decent number of units. Another launch, these two launching in tandem whenever Nucleus, as you called him earlier, launches Lolo Nuke. Oh god, this is too difficult. Throws his out. Wouldn't want to be one-upped by the nuke launcher of his opponent. And the nuke's going to come in towards the base. Is it going to land on the Megalith? Because that would be tragic. It's going to land directly, like almost directly on the Megalith. The Megalith won't die, but it loses half of its HP, which means it's half as useful now.
Oh yeah, it's a really sad day for Mega Kiss there.
I will give you this. The Duelist. And I know in the cast over on your side, I said I talked about switching to a UEF caster. I'd switch to a Cybran caster first because the Megalith is my favorite experimental. The entirety of the reason. I like the battleship cannons on a giant mech.
What does that even mean, being a Cybran caster? Am I a Cybran caster?
Your logo is the Cybran logo.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
sorry. That seemed
No, you're
really
good.
aggressive. The way I said that, I felt like I was coming off as a dick for a second.
No, you're good because you're 100% right. So one thing we were talking about earlier, as far as like building SAMs versus trying to get air superiority,
Yeah.
I think that Icy has kind of struck a good balance here. He's not going back into building like a huge air grid again. He does have T3 Air HQ, but that's arguably just to get T3 engineers out. But he's not going for like a huge expansive grid anymore.
Yeah.
Instead, you see him going for like static defenses and some other things to help him propel later in the game while he's rebuilding instead of investing a lot in T3 factories.
So slightly to the west, we have the player with the least mass income of 39 whopping mass a second. Oh, well, no, he's in a power stall. But either way, he had the least beforehand, going for a Scathus. Interesting.
Coming in hard on my favorite Vulcan there. Just like
I mean,
throw him under the bus
you were the
immediately.
one who threw him under the bus for the NT thing. I would have never noticed.
oh yeah, that's a good point.
We're equally to blame now. Megalith
So-
versus GC, and GC wins because the nuke! The nuke coming in clutch! That GC would have been dead, and that army would have been dead. Actually, that nuke, it didn't kill off much economy, but hitting that Megalith so hard means the eastern side's kind of fucked, because there's not enough bricks to still deal with that GC. The Soul Ripper, very much so a solution, but I don't know. I guess they do have air, as long as Flyboyacus decides to send his ASF in the general direction and protect the Soul Ripper.
Yeah, I think that Lithicus there could have done a little bit of
I
backtracking with
like
his Megalith.
that one. Lithicus was... that's a good one. Man, if he watches this, I'm gonna feel real bad, because he could be like, I just wanted to be in a cast normally, and like we single out his name and say it 30 different ways. Tactical
Because
nuke.
you couldn't figure out how to pronounce it.
Tactical nuke on the way for Icy Nightmare. He did this in another one of my recent casts and successfully used it to snipe Grimplex's comm. So, the man got some skills with the tactical nukening.
I'm sure Grimplex was pretty happy about that.
He was already irrelevant by the time that happened. It's just funny that that's how he ended up dying. All of his base was already destroyed.
Geneva Convention in the mid got that naval factory up.
And he's building cruisers and destroyers.
He's upgrading it to T3. He's upgrading
He's
to
gonna
a T3
go,
naval
he's gonna
HQ.
go for the torrent strats. Another
Yeah.
nuke launched out from Nucicus. Nucus? Yeah, Nucus. And it lands squarely in the middle of the base of wait, whose base is that? That's Ninja Wombat. Haven't said his name very much this cast. And that's gonna hurt his economy, but maybe not as much as one would expect. It's only 3 mexes and a Hydro, and he has many more T3 mexes already. Everybody in the game kind of reaching that late game economy status. Spock, the lowest economy player, building a Scathus. He does have 100 mass a second, so admittedly it won't take forever, but it'll take a long ass time to build that Scathus.
It won't take forever. It'll just take like an hour or two.
A man can dream. He's desperate. Let him have his hope, even if it is false. Billy Nuke
There's that
hitting on
first
the
Billy
main
going off.
on the main force of not Sculpt and Face, Sub Q. Jeez, words. Fat Boy over here in the middle, getting decent value out from Icy Nightmare. Just going to be firing on all of these T1 units that are hovering over from Geneva Convention.
I'm now
T3 on the way
blanking
for
on.
Drimicus.
Go ahead.
What are you
You
blanking
used
on?
his real name. You used his real name. You can't do that.
Oh. What were you blanking on?
Oh, whatever you were saying, Sculpin Face. I was trying to remember. There's a really, really good IPA from a brewery in a beer. From a
Oh, let's
brewery
go get some
here in-
beers! Oh, our parents can't know.
A brewery here in Texas called Sculpin IPA. Can't remember what it's called. So, you're welcome, everybody, for teasing you with that one.
Tactical nuke launched onto the Galactic Colossus that's managed to heal back most of its health. The Galactic Colossus gonna die, but there's another one to take its place, so... But there's a Megalith again, and this time it wasn't just nuked. Instead, the GC was nuked. See, that's how we can determine who's gonna win these. Which experimental got nuked most recently? That's the one that dies. It's like marking them for death.
Yeah, Lithicus strikes again. Oh, and that GC turns around.
Oh, I have the perfect thumbnail. I'm gonna put your logo right here and my logo right there. Holy crap, this is cinematic. Wait, what just happened? Was there a snipe? Oh, there was a snipe on... Oh, there was a snipe on... I died a snipicus.
Yeah.
It looks like Strap Bomber snipe out from Lollipop. Sorry, I was getting the most cinematic shot ever in FAF history, so fuck off. Comments.
Sure could.
And see, it's legitimate because the Megalith dies, so the thumbnail will make sense.
Oh my god. I was so psyched. I was like, yes, my thumbnail wins.
Sculpin face, Control K's, or get sniped. It says Control K, so there's like a litany of things he could have actually died to. But it looks like he's gone. It looks like Icy Nightmare and your boy Star Trekkie. And Coffee, because nobody can deny Coffee's been a pivotal part of this game.
You can't sleep on coffee.
Literally.
I know. That's why I said it.
Yeah, I know. I'm playing to the lowest common denominator here.
I know you know. That's why I'm playing to the lower common denominator.
Oh. Clever girl. Make references to other movies, I guess.
There's a
fight going on the western side between Fat Boy and Units versus Just Units, and Just Units seems like it's gonna win.
He's gonna get that under his shield. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, but he also has a hell of a fire base. Man, he's really ecoing though, getting all those RASCOMs. If he started sending those to build mexes in the back, which are getting mass tactical... Mass tac snipes onto mass extractors. These nuke sounds are really screwing with me because we have tactical nukes from Icy all the time. Icy also doing an admirable job on the east side. We have two UEF players holding out against the waves of units out from Team 1. These RASCOMs a significant fighting force in and amongst themselves. What does that even mean, in and amongst yourself? Among themselves?
I don't know. I'm currently trying to figure out why you said that Icy was doing an admiral job whenever he has no navy. It looks to me like Geneva Convention is doing a little bit more of an admiral job.
Well,
there in the
here's the issue. Geneva Convention can... he isn't. Oh, also, it looks like there's a snipe coming down onto Coffee out from Lollipop. It's not going to be successful. But
I think it's going for the SMD.
He didn't build torrents. And torrents would be good on this map. So...
I would be.
Like, it'd actually be kind of broken. Not that, like, I don't think Team 2 has a chance of winning this. Like, are we clear on this? Team 2's pretty dead. I don't know. I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. It feels pretty...
Icy's going to get some good reclaim. I don't know what Icy's doing with his mass is the only problem.
I don't know if he's able to spend it, to be honest. No, he's spending it. I just don't know what on. Tactical nuke isn't... I guess it is 83 mass a second for him to launch those nukes on repeat.
It seems like a lot of investment for something that can be countered by
tactical
a
missile
buzzkill.
defense. Yeah, but that also means you have to send the engineers out to build the buzzkill, and that's a lot of effort.
Yeah, that's fair enough. He does have T3 land, though. So maybe that's where it is. Got some personals
More
out.
strat bombers being produced by Lollipop, as there's really just nothing to protect against them. I mean, there's a few ASF kicking around, but not nearly enough from Team 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a quick ASF count. Curious where we're at.
Give us the numbers.
We're at 50 for Lolpup, and I don't think Live Long and Prosper has any. Icy Nightmare is at 35. I mean, neither air player is really building air to any huge degree.
Yeah, I mean, Lollipop's just spending all of his factories building strats. And even with that, has an air advantage because he took out the air grid of Icy.
I'm looking at... Lolpup has 650 mass income. I feel like this is like build T3 artillery time. Or experimental or something. I don't know what he's...
I think that his strategy is the absolutely massive wave of strat bombers coming across the map right now, which we're going to get a cinematic view of.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Also, did I see a satellite? There's a satellite out from somebody, I think. And hits the SMD. That means Coffee's base is forfeit. And there is a satellite built up by GS4. And another Fat Boy out from him. Or maybe his first Fat Boy. But...
there's lots of Fat Boys.
Yeah. There's a strategic launch detected on the base of Coffee. And on the eastern side, there is the Wave of Death. There's a Fat Boy to defend against all of that. Like, that's kind of it. There's a Fat Boy and some Percivals on the eastern side, but... yeah. I think Icy's gonna die. By the way, one second. Scathis update, it got to halfway.
It got to halfway.
It got to 60%, in fact.
Man, if it had made it to 69, that would have made me way happier.
I mean, it might if he gets enough mass dumps.
He's not gonna get enough mass dumps.
Tactical nuke used to try and kill off the chicken early. It may have even actually succeeded. Yeah, it did. So, the Fat Boy, we're gonna fire in the GC as the GC tries to kill Scathis, which isn't done, so you know. That poor Scathis.
Yeah.
The Calm of Spock, under fire from the GC, but gonna casually walk away with almost no HP and then die when the shield goes down. And the Calm of Icy Nightmare, soon to follow. I would assume. Nope, he fell back. He decided it wasn't worth dying. Coffee with the Trail of Tears of various forms of UEF build power and RAS comms as Snipe comes in to kill his comm. The Strat Bombers didn't do it.
That one.
What?
I'm sorry for laughing so hard at that one.
What, the Trail of Tears?
The Trail of Tears.
It's true, isn't it? Oh my god, there's so many explosions on screen! But thank you all for watching, you have been beautiful. I am so glad that the Duelist was able to join us today. Thank you to my patrons, Timothy Calvert, Sergeant Syphilis, Nogthar, Idle Betazoid. There's somebody else that I'm forgetting, GTVA. All the patrons are out of the way. Like, subscribe. Take it away, Duelist. You're gonna close us out.
Am I? Okay. Well, thank you guys so much. If you guys are here from my channel, make sure you subscribe to Willow. He puts out amazing content, lots of casts, really fun. Super fun guy, super nice as well. He and I are both working towards getting 1,000 subscribers, like we were talking about a little bit earlier, and we are both just so close. So if you guys wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, it would actually be hugely helpful. Every YouTuber says that it would be hugely helpful, but we actually mean it because it means that once we get to 1,000 subscribers, we can potentially start monetizing the channel and putting money back into the content that we're making for you guys, because right now we're just doing it because we love it, but getting some money behind this will help us reinvest back into the channel and I don't know. I know Willow and I both have a lot of plans for the ways that we want to be reinvesting back into the FAF community and our channels as a whole. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And that's all I got, man. You want me to just piece this out?
Yeah, I'll say one thing about reinvesting into the FAF community. I guarantee that I would, and I think the Duelist would, be willing to put like whatever, like a portion of the ad revenue that we get towards a tournament. Like me, I'd be cool hosting a tournament with you. We'd have to get a TD, but like co-casting an entire tournament sounds dope.
Yeah, I'd be super down, like 100%. I was thinking about doing that as well. So
yeah.
Super down. If you guys want to see that, hit that subscribe button. That's the best way to get there.
But yeah, go ahead. Pieces out.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.